Welcome to Lord Fussington's walkthrough of the critically acclaimed game Demon's Souls. I'm your walkthrough master, Lord Fussington, and this is part 1 of Tower of Latria 3-2. The part after Fool's Idol. It would be because we're in 3-2 and not 3-1. Anyway, head over to Fool's Idol Archstone, and that's Executioner Meralda, but we won't be meeting her today. We will be meeting Yurt, the Silent Chief, who isn't very silent. I'm not sure if he's a chief either, but, you know, I don't make up the names. Because if I did, Storm Beasts would be flying manta rays, but, you know, whatever. You know, I didn't make the game, or else I'd be a little bit more rich. By a little bit more rich, I mean not at all, because I'm a lord. We're born rich. Anyway, head down here, and we're gonna meet a lot of gargoyles, so if you're frightened by gargoyles, you know, there's other games you could play. I think there's this game on Game Boy Advance. Do people still play that thing? Anyway, it's a Barbie game. You can play that. Don't ask me how I know. I mean, I didn't play that game. I have no idea about it. I don't know it at all. There's also Mario Party, Mario Karts. Great games, really great games if you're 7. But there are gargoyles. So there you can see one flying, or just flying. I was going to say something else, but he is flying in the spot. Now, what is there to say about Tower of Latria 3-2? Not very much. There's not very much. There's a lot of items, actually. A lot of gargoyles. But I enjoyed a bit more than Tower of Latria 3-1. But, you know, it may not be for everyone. I find 3-1 just opening cells to be a bit tiresome. Almost as tiresome as my commentary, but not quite. Not quite. Or at least I'm hoping not. So the idea here is to kill gargoyles, and you see that thing in the background there? Yeah, we're going to have to, and it's chained, right? So we're basically going to have to get the chains loose so that it drops, and that'll allow us to climb the stairs to the Maneater. So, yeah. Exciting stuff. If you're wondering what it is, actually, it's a heart. I guess I should talk about how to deal with gargoyles. They have good range. Bring a shield, or shoot them from afar. That's really it. Just pay attention to where they are, you know, and yeah, so there's a heart. I think it's a heart anyway. Who knows? So I wouldn't head down here immediately because you're gonna end up going in this direction anyway a bit later on. So you should probably just go up first. But if you're really inclined, or you're just a bit moronic like I am, you can go in this direction and clear it. So there's some good old spice. Not the deodorant, by the way. Yeah, I know some people may have thought it was the deodorant, but you know, that would be really foolish. Yeah. Moonlight Stone, great. So we're gonna get that item, and that's why I say don't. That's why I'm saying don't go down here yet, because you're gonna end up having to jump from that ledge. It's on an edge. There's an edge there, but it's actually a ledge. Anyway, so you're gonna have to jump from there to the bottom, so you're gonna have to go through that area anyway, so it's a bit redundant, but redundancy, that's sort of the centerfold of these videos. So you can't go from here. It took me a little bit to remember how to do it as well, because I've forgotten quite a bit about Demon's Souls, so Right, and about the heart, basically, the heart is held by these chains, but the way the chains work is there's these, the prisoners are doing like incantations around it, you know, holding the chains up pretty much. So this area is blocked here, you see. So once the heart falls, then we can actually climb this staircase. So that's the idea, which is just, it's a really brilliant one, you know. You know, heart clogging there. I mean, just the metaphor. It's brilliant. Just absolutely brilliant. So you know, go down. I don't know why I'm still here. Oh right, the items. So we've got to figure out how to get those items. Basically, you're gonna want to jump on this ledge down. You see that ledge down there? That's exactly what you want to. So just try to stick close to the wall, but I mean, I don't think it really matters. You'll just end up on the edge, the very edge, and you know, then you can go pick these up. It's rune sword and rune shield. Ostrava of Latria carries those as well. I had forgotten to put second chance on. By the way, second chance, if you fall off a ledge or something, you're fucked. It doesn't matter if you have second chance or not. Yeah, it's just good in case, you know, you get killed by an enemy, and then you don't feel like redoing everything. It's quite helpful. I recommend it if you can, if it works with your build. If it doesn't work with your build, don't bother. You know, obviously. But I think it's pretty common actually, or was. I don't know if it still is. So to our right, that's also blocked by the heart. But that's blocked by pots, and it's easily accessible if you hit the pots. If you don't hit the pots, you won't be able to access it, unless, of course, you roll into the pots. Then it's fine. So a good little tip there. Can roll into the pots, and they'll break. See, that's what I'm here for, just to give this sort of high quality advice. Unknown Soldier's Soul, standard. That is what they're always going to give you. I'm pretty sure, actually. Oh, you can get a weapon from them as well, but yeah, a rapier. But you know, whatever. Chunk of Moonlight Stone, excellent. Alright, so that's it here. And now we head back up. In fact, you could wait until the very end to go back here. You don't have to do it right away like I did. I just didn't plan it out quite, you know, very well, that's all. So I recommend planning. Planning is really good because it makes things a bit more efficient. Okay, so now we're on our way to the first, you know, where the chain is linked, the first area that the chain is linked to. So I think that's a crossbowman in the distance. They can be a little bit annoying because they do that. They basically just run away. Arrows, spells, best way to deal with them. If for no other reason than they're cowards. You know? So for whatever reason I don't take my... Oh, there it is. Nope. Decided forget it. I mean, you can hit them from here like a melee, but it can be a little bit annoying. I hit the chain. I hit the wall. I can't aim that high. So basically it's going really well. This is one of the toughest enemies in the game, especially if you're incompetent at the game. What did you see? What a great headshot that was. Right, so well done, Lord Fussington. Well done me. Self-congratulations. It's the only kind I get. Go grab this. This is Flamber. Brilliant, great. It's a really, really strong sword. You know, heavy sword, really, really great, I suppose. I wouldn't use it. So I'm admiring the heart. However, be careful here, you don't want to fall down. That probably means your death. And after you're done just, you know, staring at the bodies and the blood and all, you can go straight through the fog gate over there. There's another gargoyle. And you don't have to kill all the gargoyles, by the way. You can just... I mean, there's not much point in killing them anyway. You know, but I killed pretty much every prisoner. I think I probably did kill every prisoner in Latria, Tower of Latria 3-1. But I've got a problem. Okay. So, here's another gargoyle. Now we can finally go through the fog gate. You want to get that item first on the side, so just carefully walk here. Carefully. I mean, if you do it aggressively, or, you know, and I don't recommend slashing the pots in that situation. If you slash, you could take a step back as well. So you want to roll into them. Just a tip. That's what I'm here for, tips. That's not tips like you're paying me or anything. Obviously I'm not getting paid for this, or else I would be, you know, I'd give a bit more quality to every video, but, I mean tips as an advice. They're just homophones. So there's an elevator, so be careful here because the elevator won't always be here. It's an elevator without buttons. It just goes up and down on its own. Stone of Ephemeral Eyes, really important when you start doing Black World Tendency. Watch out here because you'll get, yeah. You want to be careful there, have your shield up or be ready to roll, and just so you don't get hit. Now, generally I wouldn't fight all of these, I just run by them, but, you know, just to show you how to deal with the gargoyles in various situations. Basically, shield and slash. If you don't have a shield, well, what's wrong with you? You must be really good. Obviously roll out of the way and whatever. Use a spell or attack. So you want to kill all of these prisoners. They're the ones obviously doing the incantation that holds the chain. So here we see how. So the chain just lets loose. There you go. Boom. And the heart falls ever so slightly, and the next chain will allow us to the heart will fall entirely. I should also point out that here is when you have white world tendency, pure white world tendency, not just white world tendency, pure white world tendency, there will be a bridge. and then you can walk all the way up and get the key to free Lord Riddell, or Lord Rydell. I think it's Lord Riddell. That's what I've been calling him. I think it's the correct way to call. It just sounds better, doesn't it? Doesn't mean it's right, but you know. Alright, you see where all those lights are on the right? That is where Yurt, the Silent Chief, is. So I'll talk a little bit about Yurt. Yurt is an assassin that works for Mephistopheles, who we can meet if you have pure black character tendency. Pure black? I don't even know if it can be pure black, but black character tendency, essentially. And then she'll give you jobs to do, which is basically to assassinate people in the Nexus. So you're gonna free Yurt, right? Now Yurt will go back to the Nexus and systematically kill you know, the people there, including the NPCs, like the important ones. You can kill him here. I didn't because I couldn't quite remember if it affects world or character tendency killing him here in Tower of Latria 3-2, but it's fine, you can kill him here. And I highly recommend doing so unless you're a bit worried about how to deal with him. You don't have to, but... And actually I don't. I kill him later. After you beat the Maneater, head back to the Nexus. You'll probably have killed 2 sort of unnamed NPCs, so nobody important. And then you'll fight him and kill him. If you leave him, he will start killing the NPCs. So you want to kill him after the Maneater latest. Don't go kill the old monk or do anything else until he's dead, right? But killing him here in the Tower of Latria 3-2 is also a good idea. He isn't, well, you'll see at the end of the video. I think actually the Maneater video, I fight him and kill him. So yeah, that's Yurt, who isn't that silent. But I'm called Lord Fussington. I'm not really much of a lord. Nor am I fussy, actually. Not much of a lord. I'm very slightly a lord, but only self-proclaimed. So we've seen this enemy before, and you know, I like killing him with a bit of range because then he can't kill me. You can rush him and attack him with your sword or your axe, or your pickaxe even. That's fine. Or a club. Whatever you like, doesn't matter. Make sure he's dead. And then grab a shard of mercury stone and another shard of mercury stone. There's something else here that's a bit more important. Chunk of mercury stone. Alright, well, memory obviously doesn't serve. I also get lost in this area. I don't know if I mentioned that yet. I do get lost in this area, but all you have to do actually, and I figured it out a bit later, is just get on the boardwalk. You know, check all of this area first, like this swampish, bloody, whatever this is, area, and then get on the boardwalk. The boardwalk will lead to one dead end, and you know, fog gate. So yeah, so the boardwalk leads to 2 areas. And I was really trying to figure out where the dead end was, which you'd think isn't that difficult to find. So this actually, so up here, this leads to the fog gate. So you want to go the other way first, which I realize. And decide, oh, I want that. Actually, I think the boardwalks are connected. I don't quite. Yeah, I think they are. Right, I haven't talked about these enemies at all. They are... I wouldn't say they're difficult. They can be just a little bit annoying. There's two types of them. They come in... Actually, it's more like sizes. Those are the types, essentially. Now, the small ones, when they hit you with their tail, they'll roll over. Assuming they recoil off of your shield, that is. Both of them do that. Both the large and the small. What are they called? Forget now. But, we'll call them... Well, they look like... Right, they're called man centipedes. I'm looking at the wiki page right now. Man centipede. Giant man centipede. Whatever. So that's what they've decided to call it. So these man centipedes have several attacks. One is the tail. You can just block it or roll away. It does do a fair bit of damage. They will also sort of spit, this toxic waste at you, and that will break your weapon. Okay, which does happen to me, and makes everything else a little bit more difficult than I wanted it to be. So keep that in mind. And what's the other one? They jump at you basically. Those are the three moves, or the ones I generally see. I don't think they have anything else. So I think this is the way to the dead end, which I've been looking for. Now the dead end is important for two reasons. Apparently it's not the way I've been looking, it's this way. The dead end is important for two reasons. One, because there's an item there, and two, because this is also where where you can get a colorless demon soul, which means a primeval demon spawns here. So keep that in mind. A shade less than pure black world tendency. So you saw the leap there. Also, if you cut off their tails, or if you just slash them a couple of times, their tails will come off, which means they can't use their tails because they don't have tails anymore, and that makes them slightly, more easy to defeat. Slightly more easy. Yep, English is my first language, and I'm still shit at it. Yeah, brilliant. So, yeah, that's really it for this section, I think. There's about 2 minutes left of the video, in which I'm pretty sure a minute is spent with me wondering what I should do with my broken weapon. I decide, well, what would be a really good idea? Dragon Bone Smasher. Which means I can't use a shield because I don't have enough strength to do so. Or rather, stamina to do so. And there it is. Weapon broke. See how it does fuck all? Yeah, so that was, hugely disappointing. And I end up fighting the Maneater with the Dragon Bone Smasher not being able to roll. But I still do it. Not because I'm professional, but because I'm incredibly lucky. The next video is part 2 of Tower of Latria 3-2. I've been Lord I've been Lord Fussington. Thanks for watching. Kindly rate, comment, and subscribe.